Hi everybody, welcome to Scarborough. We're still doing Erie on the East Coast, part 2. We're down at the Victorian Spa and Tea Rooms where Victorian people would have come and met to have tea, afternoon tea, and come and see a concert in the evening. So we're going to take a walk down these really old Victorian sea steps. I've got dowsing rods this time, so we're going to give these a whirl and see if I can pick anything up. Let's go. I'll keep my torch on because it's a bit light there. Alright. Dowsing rods, everybody. Are there any Victorian people who would like to make contact with us? Please come forward if you're here. These steps go back to the 1820s. So a lot of people would have used these. And at this part here there's an old fountain where the old tap used to be, the old fountain head, where people would have look at all the flippy creepy crawly things crawling about. How nice is that? I'm going to leave this torch so I can focus more on my dowsing rods. Let's just pop that away for a second. We're going to go down the steps and try the dowsing rods out, and if we get any activity we'll stop.
Because it was a
and
very
then we're going
big
to head over to the Grand Hotel and the harbour bit, the Victorian harbour bit where people would have gone for an evening stroll. Okay.
Very Victorian thing to do.
Is there any Victorian people here? Would you please like to come and use these dowsing rods? I know that back in the day dowsing rods would have been your preferred means of communication. I'm Alison. This is Andy. And we've come to your seaside town of Scarborough. So if you want to say yes, please cross the rods over. And if you want to say no, please push the dowsing rods outwards. Are you a lady? Oh, right, that just went outwards.
Yeah.
We said cross for yes and wide for no, so it's supposed to be a man. Are you a man? Yeah, it's coming back. Yes. Okay, so we've got a man. Can I run through some names, please? Does your name begin with A? Cross the rods when I come to the initial that your name begins with. Does your name begin with B? C? D? E? F? G? H? I? J? K? What should it be Z? I bet it's called Zachariah or something.
Hey,
That's my luck, wasn't it? L. I've gone through the Greek alphabet then, the Arabic. Please cross the rods when I come to your initial in the alphabet and help us along, so we can start calling out some names. Oh, M. Well, I don't know, it just went to M.
M.
Let's think of some Victorian names. Michael would have been one.
Michael.
Any of the saints' names really would have been.
Montague.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, you crossed over?
Montague.
That was, maybe you've picked up on it because he's here.
I don't know why I said Montague.
Okay, Montague.
It's just an old name, innit?
Did you used to come here on holiday? Please cross the rods for yes and widen them for no. Or did you work here? Perhaps you were a fisherman who had a boat here. I don't think fishermen would have been called Montague though, it's a bit highbrow. Did you stay at the Grand? Or did you work at the Grand? Were you the elevator attendant at the Grand? I don't know where the lift started, to be honest.
You concierge? You help people with the luggage or introduced them when they first came here?
It's going a little bit, so I think you had something to do with... Were you on reception? Were you the maitre d' in the restaurant?
Did you keep out the riffraff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roughly the same thing. The maitre d' of the restaurant would have kicked the riffraff.
Yeah.
Or maybe we just haven't got to it yet. What else would they have done at the Grand in those days? Chef? Were you the chef at the Grand?
Were you a manager?
Were you in
Owner?
charge of all the housekeeping? Were you in charge of the evening entertainment?
Were you...
I've just had an idea. Do you know, I've said this to you before, I'm not psychic, no, not a tiny bit, but every now and again I get a little picture flash up.
Yeah.
I think he had something to do with the sea bathing, the mixed sea bathing. The men would have gone in one
Oh,
part
yeah.
and the women would have gone in the other.
Yeah,
I've
they
got
would.
a feeling he had something to do.
Yeah.
I've just seen, you know, them stripy swimming costumes
Yeah.
down to the knee.
Mm.
I've just seen a quick flash of that in my
There's
mind's
probably
eye.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Montague, were you in charge of mixed bathing? Keeping the ladies? Yeah, it's going, Luke.
Right. So
So how
that's.
good is that? So you know what happens sometimes when
Yeah.
you're focused on speaking to somebody, they can actually plant the picture of what they did into your mind, and then you
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
pick it up. Because I'm not psychic, I'm not at all. But we're going to have
But
pretty soon when we
you
do
do-
Blackpool. My sister Jane's going to be with us, and she is psychic. So.
Yeah. But you do sometimes something just comes into your head
Yeah.
and just say it because
if we can
it's
find some
normal.
old black and white pictures, you'll
Yeah.
probably see there was the old sea bathing machine. They used to wheel it down to
Yeah,
the
they
beach,
did.
didn't they?
They did.
And then the ladies would get changed in one and the men would get changed in the other.
And then they had a certain time on the beach. And
Yeah, and then it
men
was separate bathing, weren't it?
Yeah, it was.
Montague, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Alright, I'm going to
Yes.
pick up my torch and then
yeah,
what we'll do is we're going to head on up towards the Grand.
yeah,
And there's some gardens up there as well.
yeah. So I might do.
Whilst we're walking along this stretch of beach, me and Andy must tell you the story of quickly the Rotunda Museum up here.
Oh
It's
God.
got the 10,000-year-old skeleton in it, right? So we went in to see this skeleton and we went round and round all the floors, couldn't find it anywhere, round and round. So we asked at the reception desk, where is the 10,000-year-old skeleton? And they told us, we've had to move him. He shouldn't be on display because of his human rights. Prehistoric man, human rights.
And
I was like,
they're not going to put him. They're not going to put him back until they find one of his ancestors who can give them the yes
and get permission
and
to
get
use
permission.
him
Now he's
on the.
God knows over 10,000 years old. They've got to get DNA from him,
Yeah.
which you might not be able to, and then they've got to match it
Yeah.
with somebody who's alive today.
He's going to give them permission to display him.
And not only that, they said something to do.
Well, we've got this flat bit here. Should we put the EMF down and see if we can?
Yeah, yeah.
Then we can swap, and then you can.
Yeah, they said
carry on the other end.
about his religious beliefs. He's 20,000 years old, right?
It's human rights. They wouldn't
So
display him because of that.
it's well before
He's been on
Christianity.
TV, documentaries, and everything, Annie, and then you come to see him and you can't see him because of his human.
I mean, he's not going to have a religion. He would have been a pagan. All he would have done with his life was go out, hunt his food, and basically that would have been it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have had any religion or anything like that. Oh, that's Alison's bag. I wonder what it was.
It's alright.
Oh, I thought I'd found something sparkly on the beach.
There's no money in it, Andy. Don't worry about that.
Oh,
There's a nice shade of cocoa brown lipstick.
oh, no, you're all right.
Alright, so we
I don't
picked
be
up on
brown.
Montague, who was in charge of, we think, the mixed bathing machines of the Victorian era. And what happened is the ladies used to climb into one, strip down to their long johns and vests and floppy hats, and the men used to do the same, but they weren't allowed to bathe in the same part of the sea.
I think that should come back.
Right, yeah, can you imagine? You've got
I'd be
topless
quite happy
bathing
to-
in,
I'd be quite happy.
Spain and everything.
I'd be
Right,
quite-
yeah, that's going to come back.
Oh, quite.
Alright, Montague or anybody else who's here, would you like to come forward and use these dowsing rods to say yes or no to our questions? I'm going to go through some decades and you can tell me when you were actually here. Was it the 1820s? The 1850s? The 1880s? It's going a little bit. The 1890s, maybe. Going a little bit.
I think that's-
1895? We're getting closer.
1900.
Yeah, it's going a bit closer.
1910.
1902. Yeah,
19
it's between 1900 and
1900 and
1910.
1910.
Because I
Yeah.
think that's when the bathing machines did come into fashion.
Yeah.
So Montague, that's a good name. Were you French? Cross the rods if you were French, widen the rods if you were English. And you just had the French name. Not really going anywhere, that. See, because it's not too, well, I don't know if French people would have come over and worked in England in them days. Maybe London, but not maybe this far up north. Because it is the northeast coast.
Were you Scottish?
That's a good question, yeah, because it could be a Scottish
Irish?
name.
Welsh?
Keep an eye on the EMF meter, see if anything flickers as well while we're asking questions out. If you like Scarborough, is this your holiday resort? Are there any other spirit people here, any other Victorians who'd like to come forward to speak to us? you have any ladies present? Any ladies who may have bathed here? Any children who like to play on the beach?
Isabel.
Are you getting Isabel? Are you just picking that up like...
I don't know, she's just wandering me in my head, so
See, this is what happens.
I'm just going to say it.
Whether you're psychic or not, you can just like sometimes pick up a picture or a
Is
name
there
or...
a... I don't know you're going to laugh at this one, but it's the name of that time. Algernon.
Algernon, that was a really popular name in Victorian times actually, think about it. How many graves have you seen with that name?
Algernon.
It's actually crossing over now. Algernon and Montague. These are posh
Algernon.
names, aren't they? It's for Scarborough was,
I bet you
and
they were...
Harrogate and places
Yeah,
like
but
that were upmarket places to go for spa and for
I bet you they
holidays.
weren't known as that though. I bet they were known as Algie and Monty.
Yeah, they would have been, wouldn't they?
Seems like a type
So
of
we have
fish.
got some Victorian people present there. So what we're going to do, is there any paranormal you want to do? Because we'll head on up to the ground and then we're going to go up through the gardens to the old the Victorian square. I'll just tuck these into your rucksack and I'll take the camera off you then and then we can swap.
Alright.
And you can do some stuff.
Oh, keep an eye on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, so whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, yeah. We'll head on that way. You just pick up the things. So that's the grand up there, guys. Still used today for coach parties now, mostly. Back in the day, that would have been like the top-notch place to stay here. The seafront, the harbour's all lit up down that end. There's some gardens at the side there and a bridge that was built, I think, in 1826. I checked the date on it just yesterday. So we're going to go up that way and we'll see if we can pick anything else up. I'm just going to use some different methods. I use the dowsing because it's what they used to use back in the Victorian times. There was a lot of big paranormal groups around then. Charles Dickens used to head one, and Sir Walter Scott used to lead one as well, and they used to take people out on parties, believe it or not, looking for ghosts with dowsing rods. And they used to use like the flower method where they put flour down and leave a crucifix or, you know, an object and then go back and check if it had moved or not. They had lots of different ways that they could do. They used mirrors a lot, scrying mirrors. Sometimes I like to use something that they would have used because it's something they understand. Yeah, okay. Not as windy as Eastbourne, everybody. We were nearly blown off the pier that day. It's just nice now.
Just talk through this. Anything you want to say? Anything, what else do I do? Why are you down at this spa? Did you use the spa waters? No. You use the spa waters? Did you put them on the waters? Prize.
Prize?
Prize.
Yeah, well, they would have had like coconut shies and stuff, wouldn't they? Where they would have won prizes. Hoop the duck and stuff like that. Yeah, they would have played. Do you remember the old Victorian fairgrounds where they used to come down and play games? See if it's Montague coming through again.
Anybody? Just give us a name.
There's people coming along, I think, now. Do you want to walk up? You just pick up the EMF meters. We'll walk up there. We'll walk up on the beach.
Alright.
Yeah. We don't want to get tangled up with the local drunks or anything. We've had that here once before. It's like they're all pointing in different directions and asking the direction to the same pub, but it's like, but you're all pointing this way and that. I've no clue what you're asking me for. Yeah. Do you want a torch?
Yeah, I've got the torch.
Okay. So we'll head on up towards the Grand through them gardens there on the side of it, because they would have been there back in the Victorian times. And this bridge definitely was, because that bridge up there, built in 1827, because I checked out the date on it yesterday.
Yeah.
Just are you using the EMF meters? If it flickers at all, we'll stop and...
That's how we'll keep hold of it.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Is it flickering already, is it? See, we don't know what was here before, if there was a fairground or something on this bit. I'm just thinking with it saying prizes, it might have been the coconut shy. You know, or they used to play that thing where they hit the hammer hard as well, didn't they? People used to box, didn't they, as well in the Victorian times, the fairgrounds. Boxing booths and tombolas and stuff like that. So perhaps this was the fairground bit here. Because up that end where the Richard III pub is, that was like the fishing bit where at the town centre.
Yeah.
This was the exclusive bit here at the Grand Hotel.
Oh god, this would have probably the special beach.
Would have been, yeah. This is why the bathing machines would have been in this area, so that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That connects up with what we've just got there. And you would have had like quite highbrow people running that, you know, because people paid good money for staying in these hotels and...
people and stuff like that. I mean, Churchill stayed here.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
He was the king of the... Well, his wife did the spiritualism, the seances. Oh.
Did you get something then? Is it flicking? It's when you mentioned the king who did spiritualism. It stopped. Maybe you just picked up on something there. Let's go on the other side and get towards the Grand and the gardens. Is it not that lamp behind you? I'm going to go through here, I'll meet you on the other side. Yeah, that way, innit? Alright, should we come up this way? Yeah, let's come up this way. I think this will bring us out at the Grand. Or the gardens next to the Grand, it'll bring us out. It should anyway. Yeah, it has. That's good. So let's find our way up. There should be some steps. There's some steps back there. Should we go up them ones? The ones behind us there. And then we'll just make a stop here and there and see if we get anything. Yeah. Does it stop now, that? Well, let's go up here because it's the gardens and there'll be benches to sit on and then we can properly do a paranormal in one place then. So we're under that bridge now. But over the top there's some benches, so let's head up there and then we can just get the equipment out a bit more, can't we, and do stuff. I think if you go left and up them steps, some benches up there. Yeah. So this bridge is literally right beside the Grand Hotel. Yeah, carry on up. think we'll go this way. That bench there. Let's stop at that bench there. Because we've got some pretty old buildings around here, and there's actually a square at the top where the entrance of the Grand is. And there's like an old square with little restaurants and things. Yeah, let's just stop at this bench because it's quiet here.
Yeah.
And just do some calling out and stuff. That's the bridge. That's the bit that we've just come through. That circle there is where the fishes are painted on the wall. So that bridge is 1827. All this was built by the Victorians. Yeah. Deadcom. Yeah, get Deadcom out. Deadcom's good. So the Rotunda Museum, it's down there somewhere, isn't it, under, with the 10,000-year-old skeleton that they don't want to show anymore because he has his human rights. We don't want to upset him. And that was torch. I forgot to actually need it. Here, the lighting's pretty good. Are there any Victorian people here, please, connected to the Grand Hotel Gardens and the bridge? Did you used to walk across the bridge as a spectator, looking at the view? Please come forward and tell us your name.
Is anybody you like? Up and down this bridge. It was a fashion parade when it rained.
Yeah, it was.
Going up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what you're thinking of. You know, Pont Neuf in Paris.
Oh yeah.
That was the bridge where they used to, the first fashion show started out.
People did walk up and down.
Yeah, they did. They would have done promenading, showing off the new clothes and.
Altered. So
Yeah, it has altered a lot.
So
It's altered a lot.
Changed.
Because now you've got this ring road and this traffic. They wouldn't have had all that then.
Yeah.
Would have been horses and carts.
It probably has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the anything stone would relate back to that time, like them
Yeah.
houses there are stone.
Those is probably like stuff. Yeah.
But there's like
I'd
a lot of
imagine.
new stuff that they would something else would have been here. But the Rotunda Museum was here when the Victorians
Yeah,
were,
it was.
because that was a popular place to visit.
Mm.
This gardens, all these walls, this would have all been here
Yeah.
back in their time.
Under. Yeah, we're
Under the bridge. Well, we are under the bridge, Luke. More or less.
Yeah, we're under the bridge.
Maybe they could walk under.
Who are we talking to now? Who are we talking to? We're talking to a few people.
There's a cat there just walking up. Come forward and talk to us if you're here.
Talk to us. You'd have to talk through this. It's
Tell us your name.
not scary or anything like that. We're not, it's a hand. We just want to know your story. Basically. That's all we want. We're just interested in the history.
Grade.
Grade. Grade.
I don't know what it mean
Quite
anything.
sure what you mean by that. Can you tell me something else that connects it? Altered.
Peace.
Peace. Peace.
As in a piece of
Peace
something
as
or
in-
peace.
Peace as in.
Peace.
Yeah. Peace. Are you at peace?
Maybe they find peace here. Maybe it was a place where they
Where did you
came
find
for peace and stuff.
Here.
peace? Here.
Peace here, yeah. So it was a peaceful place for them here. You know why? Because these gardens were bigger back then. Now they've put a lot of
Do you
steps in.
Here as in place, or do you mean here as in here? Can you hear us? Is that what you mean? Can you hear us? If you can see us, say can see. Just speak through this. Use this to.
Do you know what? I'm just getting the name Violet. I don't know why.
Violet. Is there a violet here?
It come through strong as anything.
Violet. Is there a violet here? Yeah? You can hear us. Does that tell us your name? Would I say yes? Just say yes. Yes, or you can see us.
I don't trust people.
Seriously? I don't trust people.
I don't trust people.
What people? Us? You don't trust us? Or you don't trust people of your own era?
Okay, you can trust us because we're not going to do you any harm.
Why don't you trust people? What happened?
That's a full sentence, that.
That is a full sentence.
I read it like that.
Why don't you
We
trust
just get
people?
odd words. I don't trust people. Might get two. I don't trust people. Do you mean people?
What happened to you to say that? Something must have happened for her to say that, to have a bad experience. Tell us what happened while we're here alone now under this bridge.
What happened here? The reason you don't trust people. Were you made to come here? Bless.
Less.
Is that bless as in you going, oh bless, or
Well, we do care about you,
Bless.
even though you've passed, your lives have passed and you've moved on now. We
Well,
still
you
care
may-
about you.
because as a spare people would have come for various reasons, wouldn't they? And then
Could have been some
what would
nefarious characters about, you know, pocket pinching and all that in them days. Victorian was rife for pickpockets, wasn't
Yeah. But some people were made to come to these spares
it?
as
Pretending to be somebody they're not.
mental illness.
Oh yeah, they would have done,
And
that's
used to
true. Yeah.
Force them to come here and stuff like that.
But you got people pretending to be wealthy when they weren't, like,
Yeah.
you know, the acid bath murderers on the south coast, Brighton.
Yeah. Bless. Yeah. I mean, keep telling us your story. I'm very interested.
Do you want to walk up towards the Grand?
Yeah.
Because maybe we could pick something up if she stayed at the Grand. We can perhaps. Yeah, this way. Oh no, we've cordoned it all off. We'll have to go back down and up the other way. All right. We'll go a different route. Right, so we're quite close to the Grand here now. That's the Grand. But we'll stay down in the gardens because there's quite a few people around, so we don't want to get tangled up with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go a bit further down. So that's the back of the Grand Hotel, the Victorian Hotel. These would have been the gardens, which it still is a bit of a walk through. Andy's still making contact with the lady we picked on up at the top, because we can probably, if we walk down and she follows us, she can probably gain our trust, and then she might tell us a little bit more about this story of why she doesn't trust people. Come and stand over here, Andy. This is a good spot because I can get all the sea front in the background then here. Alright, so the Grand is just there anyway. Good stand there.
Yeah, it's her chair.
What came up just then?
I don't know whether that's
What did it say?
It's her chart.
Her chart.
Her chart. Her chart, what would be like no, the thing is, if it's electricity, it would stay on.
Yeah.
If it's a continual thing. That's not, that's random. That's random.
You think she's followed us down?
Obviously talking to one person.
Find out why she doesn't...
I've not had anything since up there, I must admit.
Alright. Why don't you trust people? What happened?
Bless. You just want to know the story and you can tell people the story. And you know, now they can, like you used to have the old cameras that with pictures of people.
She hid from you.
She hid from you.
Alright.
Oh, is this somebody else?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, yeah.
somebody
Maybe
else?
Violet was the person we picked on up there. Yeah, I've gone cold around the legs actually now you mention that.
She hid from me. Why? There's no reason to
Because she
hide.
doesn't trust people.
I think because, yeah, she probably, when I get this, she's probably looks at me how I can probably think, for the time period you were around, probably would scare the life out of me. Change?
Yeah, there's been a lot of changes here, look.
Yeah.
Brand new seafront, different coloured light bulbs, new paths.
As you will know,
The bridge is still there though.
Victorian times, 50 years before the South, it would be completely different, and what people thought you were wearing.
But if you look though, Andy,
outrageous and
this is all overgrown now, and this was probably a really well kept garden. Because it would have belonged to the Grand, that hotel there. This was their gardens. And it's just become an overgrown path. So perhaps they would have walked up and down here.
Your time's not like it. You know, people are quite, I wouldn't say the world's a better place, but people are quite understanding that people think everybody regarded as different. You know, people, anything now, you know, people aren't ashamed of how you look, how you dress, how they are. People just aren't afraid now, whereas before you couldn't do anything outrageous because of what people would say, and people would judge you. But now it doesn't matter. Is that why you didn't trust people because you were different? Or you felt you were different? You know, there's no need to be afraid. You know.
Should we head on up to the Victorian Funicular Railway?
Alright, yeah.
Because they would have used all this area. This is just the change of this spot. The garden would have been there. Come with us, come to the Victorian Funicular Railway. It's still being used every day. It's not changed. That's the spa down there, where people would have had tickets for concert, orchestras, that kind of thing, back in the Victorian time. Still used today, you know, for concerts and shows and stuff like that. There's a lot of loud bikes around because they've had a bike fest here this weekend. Right, let's get back down to the seafront and go in there. Yeah, just she'll probably follow along because the funicular's just up here anyway. Yeah. I'll just turn it round while there's people coming. I don't like to film people because some people don't like being on camera.
No.
So we're going to go up to the Victorian Funicular Railway and cross over that side because you can get a better view of it from over there. And then if we've enough battery left, we'll walk on up towards the harbour and the lighthouse.
Yes.
Show you a bit of that as well. We're going to cross the road here. I'll turn the camera around because there's some pedestrians walking up and I don't like to film them because not everybody wants to be on camera.
Yeah.
especially if they're walking along hand in hand with someone they shouldn't be with.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
a-
saying?
That's a point.
These things do happen in these places.
How you forget that, don't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, it was that ancestor of yours that got paid off by somebody because she was sleeping with somebody else, and it was a right knocking shop story. Don't ask me. It's like somebody related to Anne in the past, not now.
Yeah, she had a hotel in Scarborough.
Do you want to tell your story quickly while we're here?
I don't know.
Go on. What was the
She
story?
somehow, the story was, and nobody seems to know, but somehow she got this guest house B&B in Scarborough. I mean, this was, oh God, must have been over 100 years ago. But nobody in the family, whoever I've spoken to, knew how she got this guest house, where the money came from, and or anything like that. But she had a guest house here, and she had she was quite well off. But nobody knew how she afforded this guest house.
There you
or
go
where it
then, a
came
bit of
from.
skullduggery
So
in the
we don't know.
family.
We have no idea.
So the Victorian funicular tramway is just over there.
Yeah.
You can still use it during the daytime. It's still powered by the old Victorian dynamics, you know, just one goes up, one comes down and they're pulled by a cable.
Yeah. One point.
Now, the Grand is there. Yeah, and the funicular is like so they would have used it all the time to go up and down to the town centre,
Yeah.
because the town centre is just at the top of there. And in those days, because they even used to come to the beach in the long dresses and the parasols, and the men would wear the top hats and the coats and trousers, so it was probably hard work for them to walk up and down.
Yeah.
So they used to use the Victorian tramway to get up and down. But we'll head up towards
I think
the lighthouse is just
I
over
think
there.
our lady friend has left us.
Yeah, she's probably
Yeah.
stayed back there where the Victorian
So I'll
section is. The
I'll leave
the
her.
Grand.
Oh,
We'll walk up towards the lighthouse
yeah.
harbour, but then I think we're going to lose battery anyway before we get there. But
Oh well.
we're doing Erie on the East Coast this week.
We just
So we went up to the Ambronte graveyard first. Now we've just done
And
the
that
Victorian
was-
Spa and Hotel.
that was quite interesting because I think we got more than we expected.
Yeah,
You know.
we're going to do Scarborough Castle next.
Yeah.
And then we're heading on up the coast to Whitby to do 3 locations at Whitby. So,
And if you're lucky, I may reenact the scene. I may reenact.
you're going to fall down the
I
grave.
may reenact the graveyard scene at Whitby.
Go on, Andy, what happened to you the last time we was in Whitby? He fell down a grave and I had to pull him out. Honestly, we need to tell that story and reenact it up there. We were walking through the graveyard right next to Whitby Abbey,
I
and
know
the
which
sea mist come in really thick and really quick, didn't it? And he went one way and I went the other. And then he was missing. I thought, where is he? I could hear him shouting, I'm here. And when I found him, he was climbing up out of a grave with the camera still
But I
rolling.
kept
Still
filming
rolling. Yeah, you
On
did
the
still
old
keep
film,
filming.
The old camera.
Now, these are the Italian gardens, and I'm a bit reluctant to go in there because I think a lot of homeless take shelter there at night time. And you know how we freaked out the homeless before, especially up Pendle Hill.
Yeah, we did.
But anyway, we did that story on the last
Yeah.
episode, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try and I'll practice before I do it.
What, falling down the grave? It should
Yeah.
come naturally to you, really.
I know which one it is anyway.
Falling down them and climbing out should really just come naturally.
Yeah, but I've got to make it look good. I've got to make it
You
look
should wear your top hat and your frilled shirt and the gear, you know, if you're going to properly fall
I
down the
might do
grave.
that.
You need to have the right outfit on.
I might just do it. Knowing you are, look, there'll be somebody walking past at the time I'm coming out
Yeah,
of the
there will,
grave, won't
yeah. There's the lighthouse over there, just come into view now.
there? Yes. And then we're going to go down Argument Passage.
Oh, I love Arguments Passage.
No, you
There's
don't.
2, there's Argument, yeah I do.
You don't
I
like
do.
Argument Passage.
I
No,
do
you
like
don't.
Arguments
No,
Passage.
you don't.
Yes, I do.
I mean, that
We'll sort this out when we go to Arguments Passage.
No, we won't.
Yeah, we will.
You have this every time we go down.
Oh, I always have this off you every time we go Arguments Passage. And they said people don't argue in there.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
They don't.
They do.
No, they don't. They never have.
God's sake. Can't win. You can't win sometimes.
Is there a shady alley down there as well?
What are you trying to say?
I'm not saying that. I'm just. Oh no, that's somewhere else, isn't it?
Now you know that's my name after midnight. And then after 2 o'clock in the morning it becomes Shifty Alley. Before midnight it's Dark Alley.
And after midnight, I become Andy Floss.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
we were
another
going to set
story.
you up with your own cabaret act, weren't we, and call you Andy Floss and put you in a pink gown and like feathered
Pink
headdress.
wig that looks like candy floss.
Well, the thing is, if I can make money out of you down here on the seafront, then I'm going to do that,
Anyway,
It'd be great, that, especially with that beard. We're going to get you Christmas lights for the beard, remember. Some subscribers are going to send you some Christmas lights to light up your beard.
People have to do.
So we expect that this year.
On these videos, people have to do at least 50 likes, and I will do it.
50 likes. I'll tell you what, if we get 20 subscribers, 25 subscribers, Andy will wear Christmas lights in his beard on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And we're going to do the ghost of Christmas past, present and future, aren't we?
The 50 likes on one of these Erie on the East Coast videos, or 25 subscribers.
Yeah.
So either it's down to the people. The people will have to say.
Yeah, and he will wear flashing Christmas beard lights from Claire's. Oh, am I allowed to say that?
On
From
what?
Claire. From somewhere. From a very famous jewellery store. One that suits our pocket.
Yeah.
I'm not talking like, your top places now. I'm talking like, anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I can't afford to get sued by jewellery places.
Fashion deck chairs.
Yeah, we had a deck chair. We had deck chairs
and
yesterday.
we actually got it up without taking about 3 hours.
Oh
to
my
do
god.
it.
My nan and granddad used to have stripy deck chairs like that in their garden.
Yeah.
But it was always the same. No matter how many times you put the deck chairs up,
You
still get tangled up with them.
Yeah, you can't do it.
You can't do them. It's impossible. Let's just film the bay here because we're going to get cut off soon with the battery's going to go. So that's the Grand from the other side. Do you know what? Maybe we'll go on the beach. Maybe we'll go on the beach because get a better view from there.
Yeah.
Can we just have that torch, please? 'Cause it's going to get dark down here. Alright, so we've got that's the Grand. So that's where we've just been, on the other side where them coloured lights are, the gardens.
Yeah.
So it looks as though we've picked up a couple of spirit people that used to holiday down that end.
Yeah.
But that would make sense that they would have the bathing machine down there near the hotel. Because this end up here, it's like old pubs and smugglers' haunts and things like that.
And I do say, from the hotel, there was a path straight down to them.
Yeah, probably. That's the
Is it?
lighthouse over there.
Yeah.
And the fishing harbour.
Yeah.
So we're going to walk towards that and head off and say our good nights.
Yeah.
And finish the second episode of Erie on the East Coast.
Oh yeah.
And once again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you on the next edition, which is going to come from Scarborough Castle and the forest that surrounds it.
Yeah. Which is quite scary in
Yeah,
itself, isn't it?
it is. It's
interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I mean, you don't know, you might walk into a banking or two.
you never know.
Yes.
Never know.
You never know. But yeah. Thanks everybody. And when you come on, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Just press that button. You'll be notified when this video.
If you subscribe, Andy will wear flashing beard lights at Christmas.
25 or 50 likes on any of the 50 likes, and it'll be alright. I'll do a deal. It's 50 likes on all these videos that we're just doing at the moment.
And we'll get Andy in some
So
costumes.
if they tot up to 50 likes or 25
Let's just call out for the
subscribers,
last minute or so if there's any spirit people here connected to the fishing harbour. Let's just see if there's any odd that can come forward and show us.
no, look, I'll do a bit of dead comp.
Yeah, just do a bit of dead com for a minute before we go.
Yeah, quick.
Yeah. Is there any spirit people here? Any fishermen connected to this harbour?
Any old salty sea dogs? I don't know
I
whether
found one. Oh, sorry, it's
thank
you.
you. Like a comedy duo, me and you.
Let's come through and speak on the device if you can, if you're here.
Yeah.
I'm Alison. This
I'm
is my
Andy.
husband and partner in crime, Andy.
Yeah. If you want to talk through this, just say anything. Come down and have a chat.
Alright, I think we're going to leave it there for tonight, Andy, because the battery's about
Yeah.
to die on us. So we're going to say good night. So it's good night from Andy.
Good night from me. Good night.
And it's good night from me. And we'll see you on the next one, which is going to be Scarborough Castle. Bye.
Bye.